All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. I want to do our daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update, and it was an unbelievable day for the Bitcoin miners, and I think it was a really good day for Bitcoin. So, things can always change on a dime, but for now, things are heading in the right direction big time. So I want to go through all of that. We talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel, so if that's content you're interested in, please remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it really does help the channel out a lot. I appreciate everybody's support. Okay, let's get straight to it. I'm going to start with the Bitcoin miner big board because there was some amazing moves today. The market in general was up a little bit, and it was very up and down all day. It was in the green, then it went into the red, then it went into the green, then it went into the red, and it did end up positive on the day. And those are all just the US indexes. However, Bitcoin had a better day than that, and the Bitcoin miners had just about the best day out of pretty much any industry in the market. So let me go through a few that had gigantic big days. There were a few outliers, as always, a couple in the red, but mostly, these Bitcoin miners had a good day. Some of them had an unbelievably great day. So we'll start out with HUT. HUT was up 15.38% on the day today. So HUT was a little bit red yesterday for no reason that I knew of. And no new news today, no unusual volume, just skyrocketed, a 15% move to the upside. And I will tell you, as I looked through all my other watch lists, I did not see the risk on trade go ballistic today. So in other words, my small cap high growth type stocks that are risk on, most of the rest of the industries that they're in did not really experience this type of day that the Bitcoin miners had. So there seemed to be something specific to Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. So let's keep going. Riot was up 13.89%. Marathon was up 13.53%. Those are the two largest market cap companies out of all the Bitcoin miners, and they were both up almost 14% on the day. That is a massive move. The other two I want to mention together is Wolf and Cypher. We've mentioned on the last 2 days in a row, they've had back-to-back negative double-digit moves in the last 2 days. So today, they had a big recovery, and they had double-digit positive gains today. So Wolf was up 10.19%, Cypher was up 12%. So you can see a lot of these miners had very, very good days. I'm going to run through the two exceptions. Core Scientific was flat on the day today. That had a nice day yesterday. It was down about 0.5%. I don't see any reason why that was. It's just there always seems to be one or two of these. And then Iris Energy, stock ticker IREN, was down 3% today. So that was also an outlier. And for me personally, I've been taking a real strong look at Iris. I don't hold a position in that yet. And obviously this is not financial advice, but just so that you know, if that keeps heading down, that's getting interesting to me. So some of the other big movers, Bitfarms was up almost 6%. Hive was up 7%. Cleanspark was up almost 6%. I mean, this was a very good day for most of the Bitcoin miners. So I'll give you a second to look at the rest of the big board. Then I want to look at the charts because we were specifically looking for 4 things to happen. 2 of those 4 things did happen, and we're still in a situation where the other 2 could happen. So I want to go through those 4 things. If all 4 of those things happen, to me, that would be confirmation that we are in another relief rally. So we're not there yet, but we're halfway there. So let me get into the detail and tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, this is Bitcoin on a 15-minute time frame. So you'll see, as always, there's an orange line where we closed yesterday. So that's where the equity markets closed. And Bitcoin was at 18,990 when the equity markets closed yesterday. So we had already, just prior to the close yesterday, we had already bounced off of this green line at 19,000, roughly 19,200, and we got rejected there. However, by the time I made my video, which was just after the market closed, we had already risen above this green line. So one of the 4 things that I wanted to see happen was, could we turn this into a line of support? So when we look on the larger time frames, you're going to see we blew right through this line on the way down. But it feels like we took a U-turn and went right back, and potentially now we are setting this up as a line of support, which is what I expected in the first place. If you guys know, those of you familiar with the channel, the $19,200 green line, that's the price target that I've been calling for since we flipped negative on August 15th. So we did go past that for one day, but it looks like we may have jumped right back up to it. Of course, it could change at any time, so that's why I have 4 things that I'm looking at. But that is the first one, and we definitely did that today. So you can see we did cross this line several times, but by midday today, we were right on the line, and then we closed strong, and now we're way up above the line. At least temporarily, we've turned this back into a line of support. We tested it all day today, so I feel like this was tested and we passed that test. Okay, for the next one, I got to go to the 4-hour time frame. So that is one of our 4 things we were looking for, and that one gets a check mark. That is done. Okay, so just to take a quick look, this is the chart on the 4-hour time frame. So you can see this becomes even more obvious. You can see we ran down right through this line. I thought this would be our line of support. I thought this is where this would end, but we ran straight through it and went down to this weaker line of support down here at around 18,600. However, you can see this is a U. I mean, we just U-turned right back above it, and we've had 4-hour candle after 4-hour candle. All but one of these has opened and closed above this green line. So we're really starting to potentially show some support at that line. Okay, to look at a couple of the other things, we need to go to the RSI and to the MACD. So first I'm going to go to the 4-hour RSI. The second thing that I was looking for was for the 4-hour RSI to cross this green line, which was at 55. So 55 on the 4-hour RSI has been a line of resistance for almost a month now. We've bumped into it several times. So just 2 days ago, we were actually in oversold territory. So we seem to be marching up towards this line. The test will come when we get to the green line. Do we bounce off of that and once again get rejected, which has happened for the last month, or do we go through that and continue this relief rally upwards? So this one is still a to be determined. Hopefully, within the next 24 hours, we'll see what happens there. Okay, the third thing out of 4 things that I wanted to see happen was a bullish crossover on the 4-hour time frame. So that did happen. And you can see it was confirmed. We have several green candles in a row that are larger and larger here on the histogram. So we've clearly got a little bit of momentum on the 4-hour time frame. So that is good. So that is 2 out of the 4 things that I was looking to happen. So far we have 2 yeses, 1 to be determined, and let's take a look at the 4th thing that I was looking for. Okay, so this is Bitcoin on the 1-day time frame. So each one of these candles represents 1 day. You'll see we had this 1 day 2 days ago where we had a red candle, a giant red candle. This was down 1,000 points. We closed below this green line that I was hoping was going to be our final line of support. I do leave open, and I have left open, the possibility that we candle wick all the way down to our previous low that we hit back in June. That was at around 17,500, so that was a candle wick. Our lowest daily close is just under 19,000. That is where we closed 2 days ago. We were within about $150 of our low. So the very next day we had a nice green candle, and that was yesterday. So things kept getting more green after our video yesterday. So that was very good. Now today's candle has opened, and if it continues, we'll have a candle today that possibly could open and close above the $19,200 green line, which is the line we were hoping to turn into support. So this is just some more confirmation. This is zoomed out look at what we looked at on the 15-minute time frame. So the 4th and final thing that I was looking for to confirm a potential relief rally was a bullish crossover on the MACD on the daily time frame. So I'm really zoomed in here because you can see several days ago it looked like we were heading that way for days and days. The histogram was printing smaller and smaller red candles, and it looked like we were going to have a bullish crossover 4 days ago, but that did not happen. We had a reversal. We got rejected. We got this giant red candle up here, and Bitcoin was down over 1,000 points. Since then, we have now been headed back in the right direction. So we keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller red candles. This is very close to 0, but it is still, you can see there is still some space here. So we have not confirmed a bullish cross on the daily MACD yet. So that would be my 4th thing that I'm looking for, but it does look like we're headed that way. Now, again, 4 days ago, it looked like we were about to have a bullish crossover, and we got rejected. So that could very easily happen again. So 2 of the 4 things that I was hoping to have happen did happen. The other 2, we seem to be trending in that direction, but they are not confirmed yet. So we really need to wait the next 1 or 2 days to see if we get a confirmation on all this, and then I will feel confident that, the next 1,000 or 2,000 points are probably to the upside in a relief rally. However, obviously, if any of these things fail and we get rejected at one of these points, then I do still leave on the table. I have my final line of support down here at around 17,500. And again, to me, that would just be a flash crash candle wick. I'm not looking for any daily closes down there. So if I go back to the 15-minute, we were up just under 2% with Bitcoin on the day. So you can see Bitcoin had a nice day. I mean, that's just fine. But the Bitcoin miner moves were massive. So an up 1.8% day, let's call it 2%. And we got some 14% moves, 15% moves on the Bitcoin miners. So they did some catching up. They're long overdue. So hopefully there's a lot more where that came from. But as you guys know, these are all extremely, extremely volatile stocks. Today things went our way. I personally was able to take a little bit of profits on some options. Again, I don't really sell my stocks. I really didn't see these giant moves coming today. I thought we would be sideways both on Bitcoin and on the Bitcoin miners for a little while, but this was a very impressive move to the upside. And I just want to note that the day started with an interview with Jerome Powell that lasted about a half hour, and we were basically, in the half hour prior to that interview, the market was way down, and in the half hour of that interview, the market was down. But as soon as he stopped talking, we basically bottomed out and turned around, and everything went up thereafter. So what started out as a scary day, and every time Jerome Powell talks, he hits the same talking points. So it's nothing new, nothing shocking, but he is just reiterating that he is serious. He really wants people to believe that he's serious because the Fed has a credibility problem, and he sees the market kind of ignoring what he's saying. So every opportunity he can get in front of a camera, he is reiterating that they're going to keep raising rates until inflation is down to their target, which is 2%. And as you guys know, we are nowhere near that neighborhood right now. So that's always a little bit scary. And the market always has a little bit of knee-jerk negative reaction to that. But you can see we shook it off today pretty much across the board. So I'm going to leave it at that. We are way above our green line at 19,200. So that is what I'm going to be looking for. To sum up, we want to stay above this line at 19,200. I'd like to see a bullish crossover on the daily MACD. And then I'd like to see the 4-hour RSI get over 55. To me, that would be total confirmation that the next leg of this journey is up. And obviously, we have a big number coming out next week. So next week, we have CPI coming out. So, at that point, we will have to reassess everything because obviously, that's one of those numbers that can be a game changer. So there's only a few days in the middle here where we have a chance to run a little bit. So let's see if we can keep the momentum going. That's all I got for you on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners today. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. And thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video.